Hi, and welcome to Grade Gov News. Thanks for tuning in and Happy New Year. Well, we're in the 2013 calendar year and the 113th Congress has just convened. So Congress is back in session. Welcome back to all of them. And of course, everybody knows what did they do right before they went out for this last Congress was they completed the Fiscal Cliff debt deal. The Fiscal Cliff deal that many will probably say is not such a great deal. You know, it extends all the Bush tax cuts for anybody, any couple making under $450,000, and they said they wanted to do that. They wanted to pass the bill so desperately. The Republicans in Congress said they wanted to do this so that the least amount of people would be affected by their taxes going up, so that they didn't want to raise taxes while we were in a recession. Well, the Tax Policy Center has said that if you make between $30,000 and $200,000, your taxes are actually going to go up $1,784 in the calendar year of 2013. 80% of households will now pay more money to the federal government. And you know, the one thing about the Fiscal Cliff deal that people so, especially Republicans, so hated was the fact that it did nothing to curb spending. As a matter of fact, the automatic sequester, the automatic across-the-board cuts that were supposed to occur January 1, just a few days ago, they postponed those. Yeah, that's right, they postponed them. You know, if I were a betting person, I would have bet months ago that Congress would postpone the across-the-board cuts. And not because I'm a reckless person, but because if you look at history, Congress has always either postponed, rejiggered, or canceled any automatic cuts, any sequester. They've canceled them all or postponed them. If you go back to 1981, the creation of the Graham-Rudman-Hollings Deficit Control Act, I think it was called, it's the bill that created the sequester mechanism. It's the bill that basically taught Washington the word sequester back in 1980. Well, it called for across-the-board spending cuts if Congress was not able to find the amount of money that they wanted to be cut. Well, by 1985, they had canceled that sequester and rejiggered it and changed it to something else to make sure it didn't happen. And then by 1990, they had taken what they did in 1985 and postponed or canceled it. And then 1995, 1997, 2001, you get what I'm saying. Congress always, without exception, always has canceled or postponed or delayed until it never went through any automatic cuts that they have basically imposed upon themselves, since they can't find the spending cuts themselves. Now, since they postponed those cuts for 2 months, basically they have created another fiscal cliff, although I'm going to go out and call it a fiscal ditch, because they're going to put themselves in a ditch, I believe. What happens in 2 months is those across-the-board spending cuts that they postponed, they're supposed to occur again. Or initially, they're supposed to occur for the first time. But what else is supposed to occur? You've got the debt ceiling increase. This is where the president runs out of money. He can no longer write checks to our debtors, so he has to come to the U.S. Congress and ask for more money. He has to raise the debt limit. That also will probably be expiring at the same time as the sequester will then kick in. And then you know what else expires? At the end of March, all of the federal government agency spending. All of our federal government money, all of our agencies, from Department of Defense to Department of Agriculture to Department of Energy, you get where I'm going, the federal government runs out of money because the appropriations process, called the continuing resolution, the CR, expires March 31st. So they've created a second fiscal cliff in just a couple of months, only I'm going to call it a fiscal ditch. Well, I hope that we can have good news as the weeks go along. I want to thank everybody for watching these videos, for being a fan, for being a member of GradeGov.com. And also, if you know anybody that has an interest in owning a Grade Gov franchise, if they are all about their state legislators, maybe they know a lot about their governor, and they want to own Grade Gov, oh, let's say Alabama, ask them to go over to gradegov.com. Click the franchise link and take a peek, and I'll be happy to discuss it with anybody. I'm hoping to have all 50 states of Grade Gov franchised out within the coming months, so that when you think of gradegov.com, you think of grading your federal government and your state government and your governors. Again, thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week, and stay tuned.